back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This is Premier League predictions game week 4. And 2 weeks ago when I made my game week 3 prediction video, well, I absolutely got everything wrong. As you can see, I only got one score prediction right, which was West Ham versus Man City, but you guys in the chat absolutely killed it. So bravo to you. Thank you to everybody for commenting. You helped your team get points on the board. You're up to 49 points. I'm sitting at 42 points. So it's going to take a lot already for me to come back from this. If you want to help out the chat, make sure to comment your score predictions for game week 4 down below, because it's all going to be taken into account. And I made a slight adjustment in the calculation of score predictions just to make it even more fun. If you get the right win, draw, or loss, but off by 1 goal difference. So for example, you predicted 1-0 and it was 2-1. I'm going to give you 1 point for that. And then if you get the right score by 5 goals or more, I'm going to give you an extra 2 points. So if you predict 3-2 and the score is 3-2, well, you get an extra 2 points. You see how it goes. So make sure to comment your thoughts on the Premier League fixtures down below. There's definitely some very interesting games, and let's get into them. First up, we have Southampton versus Man United, and these two teams have been consistent in the fact that they have made a lot of errors leading to goal. Actually, no team has made more errors leading to goal than these two, with Southampton at 4 and Manchester United at 3. So definitely keep your eye out on that to see if there's any more errors in this game. Stats say we could see some. Southampton are one of only 2 winless teams so far still in the Premier League, and Man United are coming off of the back of 2 back-to-back losses, their latest loss being handed to them by Liverpool, having lost 3-0 before the international break. Players for both sides. For Southampton, check out Adam Ramsdale. He's looking like he's going to be making his Premier League home debut after signing from Arsenal on deadline day. And for Manchester United, keep your eye on Xerxes, who scored and assisted in Netherlands' 5-2 win in the international break midweek, and he's going to be looking to continue that goal-scoring form in his return to club football this weekend. Southampton are winless in their last 14 Premier League meetings against Manchester United, so I can't really see this going any other way. I'm going for a 2-0 United win. Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Liverpool are yet to concede a goal so far this season. They've been playing extremely well. They're really trying to press the opponent high. They've always been known for their high press, but what they're also doing is trying to make sure that everybody's working extremely hard so that the opponent can't play through or over their press either. Forest are still unbeaten in the Premier League, and they're going to be looking to continue their fine form. 2 weeks ago, they did score 10 minutes into the game, but then proceeded to concede, if that makes sense, 2 minutes later. So they're going to be looking to tidy up those types of mistakes. As for players to look out for from Liverpool, keep your eye on Diogo Jota, who has scored 6 goals in his 5 appearances versus Nottingham Forest. He loves scoring versus Forest for some reason. And from Forest, keep your eye on Chris Wood, who already has 2 goals in 3 Premier League appearances so far this season. I mean, I can't see anybody other than Liverpool winning this game, so I'm going for a 3-0 Liverpool win. Next up, Man City versus Brentford. I don't even have words to describe Man City anymore. We're only 4 games into the Premier League season. They still just look like the ones to be title contenders. Like, I don't have anything new to say about Man City. They're just that good, and they continue being that good. As for Brentford, they're the last team to beat Man City at home in the Premier League, so that's interesting. They're coming off of a very comfortable 3-1 win versus Southampton before the international break as well. For key players to watch, can I say anybody other than Erling Haaland for Man City? He already scored 2 hat-tricks. He has 7 goals, and if he gets 8 goals in his first 4 games, he's going to tie Wayne Rooney's record for the amount of goals scored in the first 4 games. So if he scores a brace, he's going to break that record. And from Brentford, I feel like Mbeumo has gone a little bit under the radar. He's definitely stepped up even more in Ivan Toney's departure, and he's already scored 3 goals so far this season. Like I said, Man City are just so incredibly dominant. I think that Brentford have had a good start to the Premier League. They have played well, they have played strong, but I just feel like there are very few teams in the world that can stop Man City at the moment. So I'm going for a big score line, hoping to get some more points on the board of a 4-1 City win. Fulham versus West Ham. These are 2 teams that haven't had the best of starts to their Premier League campaign so far. Last season, Fulham won in this fixture and the reverse fixture by an aggregate score of 7-0. But they entered the international break with a 1-1 draw versus Ipswich Town. As for West Ham, Lopetegui said that they're still in the process of becoming who he wants them to be. As for key players to watch out for from Fulham, keep your eye out on Anthony Robinson. Since the start of last season, only Kieran Trippier has more assists among defenders at 10 than Anthony Robinson at 8, and all of Anthony Robinson's assists have come from open play as well. And from West Ham, keep your eye out on Jared Bowen. He has 9 goals away from home since the start of last season, with only Erling Haaland and Ollie Watkins having more. I think that this game is going to be really close. I don't know which way it's going to go, so I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. These teams are quite equal in terms of standing at the moment. They both have 2 losses and a draw so far in their book, so they're still both looking for their first win of the season. Looking at Leicester, they have won just 2 of their last 16 Premier League games in London, so not great stats for them. For key players from Crystal Palace, keep your eye out on Eze. Among other players in a similar position in the Premier League, he's in the top percentile for shots and shots on target, and he's scored an absolutely brilliant goal versus Chelsea before the international break. From Leicester, Abdul Fattah, only Bruno Guimaraes has won more fouls than he has. At the end of the day, I do think that Crystal Palace take this game, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Palace win. Next up, Brighton versus Ipswich Town. Brighton have had a really strong start to the season. They're currently unbeaten, and before the international break, Ipswich Town did draw to Fulham, which was a great result for them. For key players for Brighton, everybody's talking about João Pedro, and rightfully so, but I wanted to highlight Danny Welbeck. He has 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 games for the club. And for Ipswich Town, Leif Davis, he leads the team for chances created, 3, but he's going to be tested this weekend with Minte likely to start on Brighton's right flank. Ipswich Town have had the fewest shots on target, and expected goals out of any side in the Premier League this season, so I just don't see them winning this game. I see Brighton winning it quite comfortably, so I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Brighton win. Gonna give Ipswich Town that goal. Let's see what happens. Aston Villa versus Everton. Aston Villa struggled versus Arsenal and lost 2-0 before the international break, despite having more attempts and creating more expected goals. Everton, on the other hand, have had an absolute mare start to their season. They're yet to get any points on the board, and they've conceded 10 goals and scored just 2. For Aston Villa, keep your eye on Jad Duran. He scored 2 goals off the bench already so far this season. He's definitely looking to come into some fine form and looks like a really good goal scorer. And for Everton, I feel like I'm always saying this, but I'm a big fan of him, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has 7 goal contributions in Everton's last 12 goals that they've scored as a team. And here's a fun fact for you. Since 2019, in all 10 league meetings between these two sides, Aston Villa have remained unbeaten, keeping 7 clean sheets in the process and conceding just 3 goals in that run. So given that, I'm going for more of the same. I am predicting a clean sheet. I'm predicting a pretty big scoreline from Aston Villa, and I'm going for 3-0. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. This is definitely the team that I feel like Chelsea struggle to play against. Maybe I'm having like the opposite of recency bias, because when you look at the stats, in the last 5 previous meetings between these two sides in the league, Bournemouth have drawn 2 and lost 3 of those games, but in the previous 4 meetings before that, they had won 3 of their 4 games. So for me, I always associate Bournemouth with a really difficult game for Chelsea for whatever reason. Like there's something there that Chelsea seem to struggle with against them, so I really don't know which way this game is going to go. Chelsea are having a quite unpredictable start to the season, which is ironically exactly what I predicted for this team. Maresca said that Jadon Sancho could feature for Chelsea this weekend, and Maresca said that he excels in 1v1 situations and could be very crucial in terms of his ability to create space and opportunities elsewhere in the pitch as well. So personally, if he starts or makes an appearance, I'm going to be really excited to see, because it is something that I feel that Chelsea have been lacking, like that sort of skill set. Kind of just feels like Jadon Sancho was always meant to go to Chelsea, so we'll see how he gets on. And looking at Bournemouth, they had one of the craziest comebacks of all time. They were losing versus Everton 2-0 in the 86th minute and then went on to win the game 3-2. Like, that is insane. That never happens. That's football. I freaking love it. So definitely keep your eye out for them. You can't discount them at any point. They're always going to be fighting and trying their best. For key players for Bournemouth, keep your eye out on Semenyo. He has 2 goals and 1 assist so far in the Premier League this season, but he also has the most shots out of any other player. And for Chelsea, can I say anybody But Palmer, I mean, there's so many players that could be quite interesting, but Cole Palmer has 4 assists already, and also no player has created more big chances than him in the league so far. So this is a game that I really don't know which way it's going to go. I feel like it could go either way. I don't know what to expect with this Chelsea team. I am going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win, but this is maybe the scoreline that I think is like the most unpredictable and up in the air. So definitely let me know your thoughts on this one. Now we have the massive game of this season, Tottenham versus Arsenal. Arsenal have won their last 2 Premier League away games versus Spurs, but the big talking point is going to be how are Arsenal going to fare without Declan Rice, who was sent off for a 2nd yellow card before the international break for kicking the ball away. He's been a mainstay in that Arsenal midfield and just provided them so much stability in that midfield as well. So it's likely that Thomas Partey and Jorginho are going to be called upon to fill in that gap. But I am curious if Spurs are going to try to take advantage of the fact that Declan Rice isn't there. He's obviously a very fast player as well. Spurs like playing on the counter-attack. So are we going to see them try to force that and create chances on the counter and use their speed to their advantage? Speaking of Spurs, going into the international break, they lost versus Newcastle, but on paper, they should have won that game. They had 20 shots compared to Newcastle's 9, and they almost had the same amount of passes into the final third as Newcastle did passes in the whole game. So Spurs, you never know what to expect with them. I feel like sometimes they play amazingly, and other times they just don't play well or something happens. So I don't know which Spurs is going to show up today, and I don't know how much Arsenal are going to be affected by the fact that they don't have Declan Rice playing in that midfield. I will say, if Arsenal do want to go on to challenge for the title or win the title, these are the types of games that you really need to try to be winning without your best players, still putting on a performance, still getting 3 points. Like, these are crucial games, and I do feel like they have the mentality to do that. I do feel that they can go on and win this game. I think it's going to be super tight either way, so I'm going for a 1-2 Arsenal win. And last but not least, Wolves versus Newcastle. Wolves are still looking for their first Premier League win of this season. They're currently sitting in 18th, and they have 4 losses in their last 5 games. Newcastle, on the other hand, are currently sitting in 5th. They had a big win versus Spurs, and I don't think that they've been playing amazingly, but they've been doing what they need to do in order to get all 3 points. So at the end of the day, they're getting 3 points, so that's what they need. But I feel that they can improve, and they haven't been like as consistent in terms of like the overall performance over 90 minutes than they had been in previous seasons. I don't really know what to expect from Wolves this season. Will it be another draw like versus Nottingham Forest? Will it be a thrashing like versus Chelsea? I don't really know. I don't know. So this one is hard. I do expect Newcastle to get all 3 points. I feel like this could be like a 3-1, but since I'm a little uneasy about it, I'm gonna go for a 2-1. But if it's 3-1, then let's just pretend that I said that. Okay. Well guys, those are my Premier League predictions for Game Week 4. Let me know in the comments how I did. Make sure to sub to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Drop it a like, comment, all that good stuff, because it helps other people to find my channel and watch my videos as well. And I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, I'm out. Bye!